Good morning, good day. Hi, everyone. My name is Linda Jenkins, and I'm coming to you today from Fort Worth, Texas, in my home. Today, we're going to be talking about, since it's so close to Halloween, our fears. What can we do to overcome our fears? Now, whether that is being scared at a movie theater, or maybe it's the fear of your very next step for your business. What's stopping you from taking that next step? So today we're going to be talking about overcoming fear, and to also identify what it is to experience real fear. What is it? Well, fear is really that overwhelming feeling of anxiety or nervousness that makes you feel sick to your stomach. You're experiencing this at an unwarranted level, and it's kind of like a basic automated response. Maybe it's fear of doing an interview. Maybe it's fear of opening your new shop, fear of success. So how is fear actually created? Well, there's actually two ways. Fear is how you focus on an item, or it's in your sociology. Okay, so I'm no expert when it comes to the scientific terms, so if I got it wrong, please don't hate me over it. But the meat of the thing is it's what you're focusing on and how you're reacting to the stimuli, the outside stimuli that is causing you to be scared. Okay, the questions that you can ask to overcome that fear, one of those is a question like, what will happen if all of this goes wrong? Well, let's swap that. Let's swap it to what happens if all of this becomes immediately successful. And, gear yourself up for the excitement. How can you make this incredible? Because, everybody finds themselves in a tough spot at one time or another. So ask yourself, how can I make this incredible? Or how can I make others benefit from me being able to overcome this fear? What impact is it going to have on their lives? And get yourself refocused so that you're not focusing on the fear, whatever that stimuli may be. Okay? You're wanting to focus instead on, well, if I get over this, how am I going to make it better for somebody else? Because helping somebody else always makes you feel better. So it's also a known fact that, you cannot feel depressed when you're moving around, you're breathing in and out, with your head held high. You're not got all those, woe is me kind of head down, shallow breathing and stuff like that. That is a feeling of depression, anxiety, fear, all of that wrapped all together in a nutshell. The quickest way to stop that fear on a short-term level is to just go all out in the opposite direction. If you're sitting down, stand up. If you're laying down, sit up. Don't keep your posture in the same way as what it is when you're experiencing the fear or the anxiety that you're going through. Okay? Because with changing your perspective, you're going to change your attitude about what's happening to you at that time. So another way, and this is what a lot of speakers use, is stopping your fear through anchoring. Now, a lot of people don't know what anchoring is, so let me kind of give you a quick definition. And by no means is this, I don't know. It's just, this is the way that, public speakers, a lot of them do this so that they can get past their fear of speaking in front of an audience of, 10 or 10,000. It doesn't matter. If you have fear of speaking in front of a crowd or talking in front of a conference or even a team meeting, this is something that you can do right then on the spot so that you can anchor your fear, so that you can continue and get past it and get on to the next topic. So If you can just emotionally say to yourself, okay, what did I feel like when I met my husband or my wife? What did I feel like when I met my boyfriend, girlfriend? What song was playing? Get that going in your mind. Get your mind back into that state. When you get back into that psychological state, then you're saying, oh, okay, your body cannot stay in that fear mode if you've replaced it with love. What about like if you're walking through a hospital? Does that give you a good feeling like when your child was born, or does it give you a depressed feeling like when you lost a loved one? Which one is more apt to be what yours is? If it's a feeling of happiness, with the child being born, or some new technique that the doctor gave you that helped overcome a particular illness, if it has got good feelings, associate with that. Another one is walking into a school or a building that maybe uses the same chemicals they use to shine the floor, and you get that sensation in your nose. That's a stimuli too. Did you feel good in high school? Well, when you smell that smell, even though it's a nasty smell, ammonia normally is, if you associate that with a good feeling of success because you were on the honors team or you excelled in a particular subject, that's a good stimuli for you for anchoring your emotional state. Now, the next thing is, how does anchoring work? Okay, so first you've associated it in your mind. Well, the times will happen where you need to reuse that same anchor. Okay, so the way you do it is maybe pinch your hand or pinch your knuckle. You can't always jump around and get all excited, kind of like, Gary Vee or somebody like that. You cannot stay like that, and you definitely can't act like that before a meeting because people would think you were crazy, jumping around, getting excited and all of that. So what do? How do you anchor that to a particular part of your body? Well, if you're right-handed, use your left hand and squeeze. Do something that you don't normally do. Don't use a hand that you always use. Use a hand that you don't always use. And anchor that feeling to that hand. Now, that's kind of like a bank account or a savings account, okay? You have to find other emotions. You can't just use one emotion to go to that one spot, because that's not going to be enough to sustain you throughout a difficult task like speaking to a large crowd. So you need to be able to withdraw. So that means you have to also add good emotions, good feelings, maybe like a picnic, a company picnic where you met somebody nice, and maybe you went out after work and you had a great time with your friends. Anchor those feelings with a particular part of your body so that you can call those feelings back in an instant. Immediately it puts you back into that, because your brain will network to that particular feeling, and when you've anchored it, even if it's squeezing your finger, something that people are not going to notice. You remember Carol Burnett, doing this with her ear. Of course, that was to tell her mom hello, but also it anchored her so that she could be exciting in front of the people that she was going to talk to. So that's something that you can remember. That's called anchoring. Okay, so make sure whatever you do to create that stimuli, to get that emotion back out, it's unique for you. And don't just press it like this and think that that's enough. You may have to squeeze it multiple times. You may have to, pull your earlobe and hold it for, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever gets you into that spirit, into that main frame of mind. Those will get you to the strongest emotion for your anchor, and you use it as often and as many times as you need to. Repeat, and then eventually you're going to find out that you're naturally going to go into that state. The more times you use it, the better it's going to become for you as a tool for helping you do the speeches in front of large crowds. whether it's 5 or whether it's 500 or whether it's 10 or 10,000. It doesn't matter. You're still going to be nervous talking to people. This anchor will help you overcome that fear if you use it properly. So again, using your anchor, identifying how to create it. See, let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's talk about everything we've talked about today. So we talked about fear, what causes fear. Okay. We talked about overcoming the fear. How do you do it? Stand up, lay down, whatever it is, get you out of that posture. The next one we were saying is get past the fear by anchoring. Okay, then we talked about how to use anchoring to get you a positive emotional state so that you can talk to everyone. The next one is we described how anchoring works. Choose a unique body part which, you can attach that anchor to. Remember, use the, fist, use the finger pull, the ear pull, scratching your cheek, whatever it is that you do, you have that as an anchor for that particular positive emotion. That, when your feelings reach the peak, using your anchor, that was the next one. Using the anchor for 5 or 10 seconds may not be enough. You may have to repeat. Just remember that it's your anchor. You use it the way that you need, okay? And let yourself be positive in the process, okay? Don't get stuck. There's no reason for it. When you can overcome your fear by anchoring the emotion, you're going to have a fantastic ability to speak in front of others or do that job that was making you so nervous to begin with. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Please like and share my videos. That's the only way I get my word out. Thank you so much for your time and letting me come into your home today. Until I see you again, have love, peace, and joy in your heart always. Until I see you next time, we'll talk to you later. You have a great day. Thanks.